Now if you're on Apple or Android, you already have the government's, whatever government is yours, their track and trace app. Now obviously Google through Android traces you everywhere you go anyway, even if you turn the option off, which you have the option to do. You can turn off the tracing and it still does it. They've been found doing that quite a lot. I actually use the track and trace that they put on quite a while ago, and it asks you questions when you've been to places. I'm glad I do, because it's shown me how inaccurate it is, and this is going to be the problem. Now, as you'll see here, if you go into your Android settings, and it's different settings for Apple iPhones, but on the Android smartphones, if you go into your settings menu and then go down to Google, you'll see a new thing that's appeared there on the top. It says Covid-19 exposure notifications. Now, this hasn't come on as part of any update. This hasn't, you know, like the monthly updates you get, which if you're on Nokia aren't monthly. It's not come on as part of that, because I've got a phone that's not been updating automatically and hasn't had a security patch for several months, and I'll show you that here. Now, this also has it in the Google system settings, and it's not actually active. You have to load an accompanying app. That's not easy to say after a few beers. You have to load that, and this basically gives it all the information. Most governments haven't got that bit in place yet, but it's coming. You can be sure it's coming. Will that just be loaded on automatically without our knowledge? Probably. It's on Android 10, it's on Android 9, and it's on Android 8. This is an old phone of mine, Sony Aqua 4. This is on Android 6 and hasn't had any kind of updates in a long time. This has been turned off for about 3 months, maybe even a bit longer, and it is not installed on here. Now what I'm going to do is I'll leave this on over the next couple of days, and I'll do an update video as to whether this app suddenly appears. But as you can see there, it is not currently on Android 6. So if you've got an old Android 6 phone knocking about somewhere and you don't want all this shite on there, use your Android 6 phone for a bit until all this nonsense goes away, which will of course be when good old Billy Goat Gates gives us his magical vaccine. It's funny, isn't it? Bill Gates made all his money from developing an operating system, and he was the first person to write a virus. This was reported as now anyway, I don't remember it being that way, but anyway, it's now reported that he was actually the first person to write a virus to test his own software. And then as viruses became more prevalent, Windows updates were necessary, and as Windows updates got more and more, I don't know, sophisticated, we'll give him a bit of credit there for fuck all. As suddenly you needed a Windows upgrade. Oh, sorry, but 95 needs a major overhaul for this update to work, and for these security vulnerabilities. So you'll have to upgrade to Windows XP, Windows ME, and fucking Windows 2000, which was the same thing according to the name. But anyway, there you go. And then it was upgrade Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10. I don't know what happened to Windows 9, but anyway, that's how he's made his money. And Windows 10 is the last operating system. Windows have said you'll never have to upgrade to another version of Windows again. All the updates will go within that. It's funny how that happened just as Bill Gates steps down from Microsoft to head up working with the World Health Organization and Event 201, which of course talked about a worldwide coronavirus pandemic happening back in October last year, just a couple of months before one actually happened. God, the foresight of that man, he's amazing. He's absolutely amazing, isn't he? He's not Satan. No, he's just amazing. Anyway, I'm preaching to the choir. This app is already on your phone. It's been slipped on. It's not gone in through a system update. It may have come through the Google Play Store. So if it's not already on your phone, let me know if you have your automatic updates out for your apps. I know MA used to always turn his off, which caused him several problems, like with the Hangouts and stuff like that. This isn't working and that isn't working. I'm like, have you updated your app? They've changed, the way it all works and that. And he'd be like, I never update my apps. I used to think he was silly. Now I don't think he's quite that silly. No, he's still silly and he's still sharp. But anyway, it is just a front for the stuff they've already got going on, tracking you in the background anyway. And it's something for the government app that you'll be getting shortly to link to, and it will feed it all the information. Now, I've used these services for quite a while, where they trace you and they track everywhere you go. I find it useful for myself. I know they're tracking us anyway. Even if you turn the option off, they're still tracking you, so I might as well get my benefit from it as well. So I have been using that for quite a while, and I can tell you it is not very accurate at all. I'll take a photograph of something, and I'm always taking photographs of buildings when I'm out and about, other things, I was in Scarborough not so long ago, me and MA, and I was taking a picture of a castle there, and it thought I was at a nearby church. I was halfway in between the church and the castle when I was taking the picture, so I can understand why it thinks I'm at one rather than the other. But it doesn't even seem to be able to tell which way you're pointing, which way you're travelling. It's very, very inaccurate. When I'm in Manchester city centre and I'll take a picture of the old stores and that. A lot of Manchester's getting knocked down now and rebuilt, so I've been taking pictures of a lot of the old buildings. It doesn't know the building I'm outside of. I'll be, on the other side of the street from Primark, and I'll take a photograph pointing away from Primark, and it'll say, oh, you've just been in Primark, can you answer a few questions? Does it have wheelchair access? Does it have this? Does it have that? And I think I've not even been in Primark. It's really inaccurate, and I'm talking 10 feet away. It can't tell, you know, like, I would say within 15 feet it's inaccurate constantly. And this thing is supposed to be telling the government, oh, he's been here, he's been there, and this person's been here, and this person's been there. And it's supposed to use Bluetooth to distinguish who you've been too close to and stuff like that for prolonged periods. Well, Bluetooth goes up to 10 metres. Can go slightly beyond, but generally up to 10 metres, and the new Bluetooth 6 goes even further than that. So if you've got a brand new phone, that's going to be an even wider range. There's no way they can tell what distance you are away from another Bluetooth device. There's absolutely no way they can do that. So the Bluetooth part of it, I need a drink. The Bluetooth part of it that measures the distance you are from somebody to somebody else is inaccurate. The GPS part of it that measures where you are on the earth is inaccurate. This is just an absolute joke. It's like the rest of everything related to this Covid-19 bullshit. The whole thing is an absolute fucking joke. People are still lapping it up. It's really strange how the media didn't slag off people for going out on these BLM marches. Thousands of people, I mean all over the world, millions of people marching in close proximity to each other, some wearing face masks, some not, but they're all less than 2 metres away from each other. They're in small crowds. They're putting the police on the front line. The police are having to come out there and, you know, police these events, so they're making them come out and be not socially distancing. Not that the police do anyway, I mean, I've shown you that, but it's not the point, you know what I mean? In principle, they're causing that to happen, and the media just praise them. I mean, it's absolutely balmy. And then you get 10 people on a beach and the media there, look at this scum, they're going to kill old people and all this lot. And it's like, even when you see these people on the beach, they're all enough distance apart, they're complying with social distancing rules. The double standards in the media is, and it's all done on purpose, is they're riling us all up. We need to not fall for it. Do not be going out and protesting. You're falling right into the media trap, the elites trap, because the elites own the media, they control the media. The elites, I hate that name, but it's what people understand for the guiding hands of society. Don't fall for none of this. Don't protest for BLM. Don't counter-protest against BLM. Do not be going out and doing these protests. The reason the media don't slag it off is because they want to encourage this division between human beings. This whole race war is a joke. There is no change. There's no difference between you and me. Whatever the bloody colour of your skin is, there's no difference. It's just melatonin in the skin, that's all. If you're darker than me, you've just got more melatonin. If you're lighter than me, you're probably ill. But there's only one race on this planet, and that's the human race. And the sooner people realise that, and we just work together, all together as human beings, the human race, the only race, the sooner we'll all be able to live better lives. It's just crazy. This world we're in now, I've never seen anything like it in my life. It's quite scary. It's quite scary to see people divided the way they are. Going out and ripping down statues. Statues of people nobody had any clue who they were. I've never heard of half these people. Camera cut off there. Winston Churchill's apparently a racist now. I've never heard that before in my life. Well, I don't know if he was or he wasn't. I've no idea. I wasn't around at the time. Everything's fake. Everything's fake. And they'll do it because they know a lot of English people. If you insult Winston Churchill, you're insulting the whole war effort. And it's stupid. I mean, you should be able to insult Winston Churchill. He as far as I know, you know, he was a bit of an idiot, to be honest. He certainly didn't make the decisions, just like today. Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, does not make decisions. They all get advised. Oh, well, we're following scientific advice. We're doing it all as per scientific advice. It's a brilliant way of deflecting. You know, what have we elected this guy for? Why don't we just have the scientists that are advising? Why don't they just run the place? Why do we have to have all this election nonsense? It's stupid. None of them take responsibility for anything that happens. This, you know, if you want a statue to be removed because that person had links to slavery, well, every single person, every single company that's ever employed anybody is involved in slavery, because we all live under modern day slavery today. So it's just absolutely crazy everything that's going on. It's all done to divide us, and they've also allowed these protests to happen so that down the line they can say, you know, look, we know they were done for a great cause and we support that cause, and, you know, Boris will be there on one knee, well, I support the cause, and but, you know, unfortunately, you know, you've created a second wave of the virus. But don't worry, guys, because as the second wave of the virus comes, I'm sure Bill Gates will be there with his money-making vaccine, his Windows update, sorry, his human body update. Oh God, what do we call it? What do we call it? We call it Satan at work. That's what we fucking call it. So get ready for the second wave. Get ready for it to be blamed on the protesters and Trump, obviously, holding a rally. You know, it'll be his fault as well. I mean, the double standards with that in America, absolutely amazing. You know, the media are there saying, you know, like, oh, look at these protesters giving each other hugs, isn't it wonderful, the love in the air. And then they're like, but Trump's holding a rally and people are going to be next to each other, he's going to spread COVID. They're not going to be hugging. Hypocrisy, madness, and tracing. Welcome to the new world.